Salutations, and welcome back to Quantum Wisdom. I'm Morgan, and it's so wonderful to have you here today. And as always, calm the body, calm the mind, balance the body. So what we've covered in my episodes so far has been meditation on the chakras, meditation on mindfulness, meditation on the laws of attraction. Then we went into a little bit of self-hypnosis, and then we went to reincarnation. Last episode, we did a little bit of what the numbers mean in sacred geometry. This week, we're doing tarot. I'm excited. And so I do want to say that I am not an expert at any of the subjects that I am presenting to you. This is just my research and the things that I have gotten out of the things that I have looked into. And if there's anything that I have said that piques your interest, please go look up the subject, and there's a wealth of information in books, online. Just go search for yourself. So today, what I have spread out in front of me is the Rider-Waite Tarot. Now, the Rider-Waite Tarot is the most popular tarot card set that there is. It's a very old set, and most every other tarot deck is based off of the Rider-Waite deck. The history of the tarot, it's very unclear. There is some written words that were in the 15th century that they found. I believe it was 1442 in northern Italy, and it was from the Count of Ferrara. I hope I'm saying that right. The tarot is a great philosophical system. So there's other kinds of tarot decks. Most of the tarot decks are loosely based on the Rider-Waite tarot deck. And they come in a variety of a whole mess of different kinds. There's steampunk, there's Native American, there's just an abundance at this point in time. There's just a lot of people out there that want to make their decks and sell them and produce them. The most produced is the Rider-Waite deck. There are also decks called the Oracle decks. And Oracle decks are something that it's quite like what it says, an oracle. When I think of an oracle, I think of somebody that you ask a question to and they give you some kind of answer, riddle, or whatnot, and you have to decipher your own answer at that point. So that's what I think oracle decks are. And that's how I look at them. Then there's guidance decks. Guidance decks are pretty much what they say, guidance. And with the tarot, everything would be something that you can, in any situation, look through. And it'll help you decipher. Then there's grid decks, like the crystal grid decks. And crystals have their own attributes to helping out in life. A lot of people wear crystals and such to help them out in a day-to-day kind of basis. So with the crystal grid decks, you can figure out what kind of crystals you would want to live with or carry around that day, or what kind of crystals to wear, and that kind of thing. You can also use a playing card deck to do a tarot reading. All you have to do is change hearts to cups, diamonds to pentacles, clubs to wands, and spades to swords. The only thing different with a playing card deck and a tarot card deck the page of every suit is not in there. You have Jack, Queen, and King, unless you want to use a joker to put in for a page. That's what they don't have, and they don't have the major arcana. Then you can also use other things with the deck, like a lot of people read tea leaves, and that's very, very old, a way to predict. Also, in this day and age, people are using coffee grounds. You can also use runes with your tarot deck and a tarot spread when you are either using it for yourself or using it for someone that's asking a question. There are 25 runes in the set of runes, and each one of them is marked with a little, I don't think I have anything that has a rune symbol on it, but runes are old. It's an old alphabet. It's called Elder Forthorc. It's a old Gaelic language, and that's what they use for runes. Then there's astrology that goes really, really well with tarot. Actually, there is astrology in with the tarot, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So I'd also like to talk about the best way to pick out your deck. My suggestion is to get a Rider-Waite deck for one of your first decks. It is the most basic deck, simple to read, to learn. It's quite easy to learn. And any other deck, really, whatever pops out at you is the one that you want to use. Usually the first one that actually pops out at you is the one that readers usually use for the rest of their lives. If not, they put it away and it's coveted. There are 78 cards in the deck, and we've got from 0 to 21 in the major arcana. You've got ace to king in 4 different suits. You got wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And so that's what I have laid out here. Okay, so now we're going to start with the major arcana. With the Fool here, the Fool is at 0. It represents the person you're reading for, or you, whichever, if you're reading for yourself. And some tarot readers don't suggest to read for yourself, and some do. Really, whatever you want to do. So the Fool here, the Fool goes through life, and it goes through everything that the major arcana can show. It can go through bad times, good times. It goes through learning. It goes through everything from birth to death. And that's the same with the minor arcana. When I said that there was tarot within the deck, the major arcanas will come with, some of the cards represent certain zodiac signs, like the Emperor. The Emperor here is Aries, and then the Hierophant here is Taurus. The Lovers is Gemini. The Chariot is Cancer. Strength is Leo, and you can always remember that one because it has a lion on it. Most cards have lions, or most of the decks have lions. There's other decks that have different animals, but it's usually a cat. Then you've got the Hermit, which is Virgo. And we go over to Justice, which is Libra. And then we've got Death, which is Scorpio. Temperance, which is Sagittarius. The Devil, which is Capricorn. We'll move over to the Star, which is Aquarius. And then we've got the Moon, which is Pisces. So those are the 12 zodiac signs that is in the major arcana. Now we go down to the minor arcana. And that's the minor arcana is actually split up into two. You've got your ace to 10, and then you've got your court cards, which is page, knight, queen, and king. When you're reading these, you also see that there are suits: wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. Wands represents fire. Since the wand or the staff is wood, it can be burnt, so that's why it's representative of fire. Fire signs is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So when these come up, when the wands come up, you can think of the zodiac signs that also come with those. With cups, it's water, and that's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Swords here is air, and that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then the pentacles are down here on Earth. They're also known as the coin. And Earth is the grounding and all the sensations of the body. Then we come to the aces and the twos and the threes. So when you're reading, you can go from all the wands and then down the numbers. This is why I have it spread out this way, is because you can see the progression through each suit through life. The people also start getting a little older if your deck portrays that. So aces in all forms will come as beginnings, new gifts. Twos, those are choices, those are relationship cards, those are experience cards. Threes, those are creativity cards. So if you've got, let's say, cup, which is in the feelers, that's what water means. Feelings, emotions, those kind of things. And then the 3 meaning creativity. So you can pretty much go from the sign or the cup, the suit, and then the number, and then see what is actually in the card and how that makes you feel. And we'll go into that a little bit later on how to read more into the cards. So 4s are structure, security, stability. 5s are change, conflict. And some of them are mental work as well. 6s, those are the balances, the integrations, and the harmony or unions. 7 is magic. 8 would be abundance, manifestation. 9 is the completion. And we also learned all of these through last episode with the sacred geometry. 10 is just giving you that culmination of the whole. then when we go into the sacred geometry meanings, that's 1, new beginning, so that's an ace. 2 is duality or free choice. 3 is catalytic. 4 is stability. 5 is change. 6 is balance. 7 is harmony or magic, spirituality. Let's see, where am I here? 7 is spirituality, yep. 8 is manifestation or abundance. 9 is completion. And then 10 going back to being one again. Then we get into the court cards. With these, the pages represent young, like from like birth kind of young. Knights are like teenager kind of energies. Queens are adult kind of energies, those nurturing kind. And the kings are the elders. Most people bring the queen or the king as being male or female. It really doesn't matter. Every male and female have the same nurturing and have the same strength. So it might be a feminine energy, but it could still be of a masculine person with that. Then when you start reading them, you want to actually look at the picture that you have. Let's see. Let's go 6 of Cups. So there's flowers in it. You want to know if there's any other people, how the people are looking, what the people are holding, what they're doing. The background is very important. What kind of year is it? Is it sun shining, or is it dark? There's a card here that I'm looking for. All right, so we'll bring out the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords, the background's black. There's swords up on top. There's somebody sitting there holding his head. So you can say it's sleepless nights. And then this one you can say it's quite balanced and with high energy. All right. The animals, the backgrounds, what the people are doing, that will all help you with your intuition on reading the cards. There is no right or wrong way to do it. You do how you feel. All right, now I'm going to show you how we can shuffle. There's a lot of different ways how to shuffle. A lot of people have their own ways of doing it. And we'll get into that. What's funny is this deck is my 13th deck that I have ever gotten. I should have taken my own advice and gotten this deck at first, but I didn't. I've got a lot of other different cards and decks, but I will say most of my tarot decks they are all based off of this deck. There are people out there that do not like to bend their cards. I'm one of them, but when I first get a deck, I will shuffle like playing cards. That way I can get them all integrated, and that is the only time I ever will use a playing card shuffle. So you guys get to see the first time this deck gets shuffled. I will only do it 3 times, the very first time. Kind of meticulous. And one more time here. All right. So, the other kind of shuffling that people will do, will take half of it and start just flipping them down. It takes a little practice. These are smaller cards for me because I'm used to way bigger decks. So when people are reading for other people, the readers sometimes will take the deck and put it out like that and have somebody else pick from that, and that's how they pick the cards. Some people will take it and shuffle it all up on the table and then have the other person shuffle, and then they will bring them all back into one deck. And then after that, usually you get the cuts. And when you're doing this for somebody else, you usually say to the person, pick your pile, and then that will be put on top. And then dealt out like that. Now, there are several different kinds of spreads. Today I will show you the most popular, the Celtic Cross. And when you're doing the Celtic Cross, you start out with one, then next one comes up and crosses it. The first one is the heart of the matter of what the situation or the question would be. 2 would be the cross, and that would be the challenge or the issues. Don't worry about anything about the devil card or the death card. Most of the time it does not mean death or the actual devil. Most of the time it's a death of a situation and the beginning of another. Then the third card that will be brought up will be the thoughts of your mind. Second one, or the fourth one, sorry, will be the subconscious thoughts of the situation. Then 5 would be the past influences. Then 6 would be the near future paths. After that, we go into the 7, and that is your self-image. Then we will go to the 8th card, and that is how you see yourself. Actually, no, that's how others see you. Then it goes to the 9, and that's hope. And then 10 is the fears. And then 11 on top would be the overall outcome. So, if you've seen that I've brought something out that was upside down, if it comes out in reverse, there are some tarot readers that read reversals and some tarot readers that don't. I am not one of them. I do not read upside down. I figure that there is ample enough cards in here, both negative and positive, that it doesn't need to be used. But there are some. And the reversals just mean an exaggeration of the card. Then, once you're done figuring out your cards, when you've just first got them, you can get to know your cards. When you get to know your cards, you can have them talk to you. You can, in your mind or out loud, say, let me know a little bit about you. And you do your spreads, and what comes out is pretty much the personality of your cards. Also, at night, put them under your pillow. When you're asleep, your energy goes a lot further and gets amplified and gets stored pretty much in your pillows, in your bed, the mattress, and whatnot. So put your deck under your pillow. It will go to, all your energy will go into the cards. Now, before I go, I do want to let you know, statistically speaking, the psychic and tarot industry is expected to grow in the next few years by 2.4 billion. It's gaining its ground in the Western world. Now, it's always been a pleasure to do this for you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience today. I wish you the very, very best. Have a great day. Until next time.